So it's a pretty simple concept. I will ask some questions, and hopefully Ride2Escape you can answer them, or maybe have your own questions, add your own questions, ideas, and we'll see how it goes. This is the first video, and hopefully I've explained it to him and he'll get the gist of it, and we'll try it. And like I said, I don't want this idea just to I'm copyright it. Anyone can do it, and anyone can, if anybody wants access to the original video or Ride2Escape's video, I'm sure we can arrange that, and then you can do your own response video, as it were. So yeah, so I'm going to ask some questions, and Ride2Escape will download the video and cut and insert my questions and chat into his video, and then he can add his responses to it, as it were. So, what was your first bike? I know you've got a Tracer now, Ride, but what was your first bike? All right, and why did you get into motorcycling? I know your name gives it away. So you like to ride because it's a bit of escapism, okay, and a bit of freedom. But I want to hear in your own words, please.
Well, first of all, when I was growing up, I had quite a bit of exposure to motorcycles. Nearly all of my close relatives own a motorcycle at some point in their lives. Both my mom and my dad have owned motorcycles. My older brother had a motorcycle when I was still a little guy. Both my brothers-in-law, my uncle. So I never considered owning and riding a motorcycle to be something that was out of the ordinary. It was something very common for me. I actually rode my very first proper motorcycle when I was around 12 years old, I think. It was an old Honda 125 cc's with a 5-speed gearbox. Obviously I couldn't ride it in the streets or on the road, but I rode it out in the fields and on dirt roads, even though it wasn't a dirt bike. Back when the first Yamaha R1 came out, I think I was around 14 or 15 years old. That was when I knew that I would ride a motorcycle when I was grown up. I was so fascinated by that bike, and I just had to have one, when I grew up. Funnily enough, though, as I got a bit older and I started going out and I got a girlfriend, I kind of lost interest in motorcycles, and it wasn't until I was 24 years old that I got my very first bike. I was living together with my girlfriend at the time. I had my driver's license for the car, but I didn't have a car of my own. My girlfriend had a car because she needed it to go to work. So that meant that if I wanted to go somewhere, by myself, I either had to borrow my girlfriend's car or borrow my dad's car, or use this 50cc scooter that I had sitting in a garage. And I didn't have a lot of money back then, so a decent second-hand car was out of my budget. But there were plenty of second-hand bikes, well within my budget. So that's when I got the idea, why don't I just get a motorcycle? And I got my rider's license. I went online, looked at second-hand motorcycles, and there was this one 99 Suzuki SV650 that immediately caught my eye. It was slightly modded, had a different paint job. The rear end, the tail was custom made with the indicators nicely integrated into the bodywork, and it had a custom exhaust that really brought that V twin engine to life. Was a very nice bike. I liked it. I guess you could say that I bought my very first motorcycle because I wanted to be a bit more independent if I wanted to go places, and I couldn't afford a car.
What's the weather like, mate? Because you can see it's quite grey and dull here, but it's still warm. It's still warm here, you know. So yeah, what's the weather like? You know, what sort of summers do you have? Because we have very wet summers here and humid and nasty, to be honest. And it's only like 2 weeks where the sun really does come out and it's a dry heat. And that's probably in September, believe it or not. It's crazy.
Well, the UK is actually not that far away from Belgium, and we generally have pretty much the same weather as you guys have over there. You can see the sun is shining now at the moment, but my bike is all wet. We definitely get our fair share of rain, especially this year has been absolutely horrendous. The past 6 months have been the wettest 6 months in 200 years. Our summers, we usually have a couple of weeks that are very hot, way too hot even. And when it's hot over here, it's also very humid, so you're constantly sweating like a pig. So yeah, the weather is very comparable to what you get over where you live.
And what sort of rides do you like to go for? Because I've seen your vlogs, and you're very good at those cornering, man. I mean, you're very good at cornering, and you like your twisties, and that tracer seems as nimble as fuck. And here, this is not a good situation because there's no lights. And everything's coming at me now. You know, so what sort of rides do you like to go for? Do you like to go for local rides, long rides? You like your twisties, so I presume you like, you want to go for mountainous rides, I guess.
What type of rides do I like to go on? Well, the twisties is definitely where the fun is at for me. I mostly use my bike to commute, but if I go riding just for the fun of it, then it preferably is in the twisties. Unfortunately, though, I live in Antwerp, which is more in the northern part of Belgium, and we don't have any mountains here, and we don't really have a lot of nice and twisty roads here either. So that means if I want to go out into the twisties, I have to go all the way to the southern part of Belgium, and preferably even cross the border into Luxembourg. That's where the real fun is. They've got some fantastic roads over there. It's twisty Valhalla, but yeah, that's easily a 2-hour ride over the motorway, I think, to get into Luxembourg. So it's not something that I do when I've got a couple of hours time. If I go into Luxembourg, it's a full day. Get up early in the morning and ride all day, and get back home late in the evening. And a full day in the twisties will probably be around between 600 and 800 kilometers, which is around 400 to 500 miles. I don't very often go for local rides because, like I said, there aren't any great roads here. Well, except when I want to record a vlog, then that's always on local rides, obviously, or on a commute like now.
Chat for these bikes. You got any bikes where you are? Is that an issue? I mean, look at these guys. They really are killing me, man. And do you have Deliveroo? Because Deliveroo are everywhere in this country. I can't smell what he's delivering. It could be his backside. Nice speedos.
Yeah, we have cyclists over here, obviously, but I don't generally consider them to be a nuisance or especially annoying. So, yeah. And I've never heard of Deliveroo. Never heard of it. I don't think they exist over here.
So yeah, I can't wait to share this video with Ride2Escape. I hope he understands my English, because I can talk a bit fast, but hopefully just email me if he's got any questions. You know, I don't have a problem with that. And we'll just have a little giggle, you know, we'll have a bit of correspondence and see how that goes, you know, let's try something different. It's probably been tried before, to be honest. You see Premises 187 who can, you know, the dual vlog. I think it's Red Renner that he dual, no, it's Death Bunny, isn't it? So he dual vlogs with her and they cut between each other, right, which is fucking brilliant, but I just don't have that setup, unfortunately. So this is a bit more, it will be slower and it'll be a bit kind of more remote, but hopefully with the similar results, you know. But yeah, and then everyone could join in, you know what I mean? Everyone can do their own take, it'd be fucking brilliant. And that's how you know, it's like a community thing, and it will build the community closer, hopefully.